We will now accept nominations for the office of state delegate. Remember, we need to nominate one delegate and one alternate. So in this case, since we are using the plurality method, I can put it forward to the attendees at this time if they would like to make it so that the top two vote getters, so the highest vote getter becomes the state delegate and the next highest becomes the alternate. Or if you would like to do a separate nomination for the delegate and a separate nomination for the alternate. But I would need one of you to make a motion either way. So could someone make that motion?
I'll move that we take the highest vote getter as the delegate and the next highest as the alternate.
Okay, can I get a second? Second. Is there any discussion on that? Okay, yes?
Well, question about formality. Do you explain that to them and make someone make the motion, or do you talk to someone before and ask them?
Yep, you can explain it to them and then just ask them if anybody will make, just like I just did. Because a lot of times, people haven't been to a lot of these kind of meetings, and so it's kind of foreign. So it's really helpful to just explain what you do, and then they'll be able to make the motion. So there's no discussion. So, oh yes.
So I want to make the discussion, and this is something that I've come across, that if you elect like a husband and then a wife, they're usually both in town that can go, or out of town that can go. So if that was to be like the first and second, then as the precinct chair, I would probably make the motion that we then elect another person, just based on experience of trying to fill those back in.
I can see where that could come. I wonder if
And
you
that
can
would
do that after.
I would do it after the fact, but that's just.
But if they vote to do it a certain way at the beginning, then we
well, I would
can.
add like a second alternate. is what I
Right.
would do.
That's a good idea. Okay. So, is there any more discussion?
Amber, can I just say too,
Yeah.
this came up with the last state nominating convention. If your delegate can't go and your alternate delegate can't go, the rules are that you can't just send somebody who was not voted on in a caucus meeting. There are some really specific things that the county can do to try and get somebody there to represent your precinct. But it would be so much easier if you voted on at least one alternate state delegate, so that the precinct chairman just has the next person to call and they're already legally in the system and ready to go.
So with that, we could also, at the same time, make a motion. I would like to make a motion that we have 2 alternate state delegates. And that would be in order as well. Like, you can make that motion and then we can vote. Just whatever is working best for your precinct and making it usable. Yes.
Is there a limit on how many state alternates we can have?
No. You can say, everybody in this room, you're alternate. So,
Also,
We do need to know the order of the alternates,
Yes.
so you can't just say everybody in the room. You have to say,
no,
this
you will
person's
have to
the
say
first
this was
alternate,
the
second
first alternate. And if they can't go, then you go to the second alternate and down by who was voted on. Okay, so right now, let's have, for the sake of time, let's have 4 nominees for state delegate.
I nominate Julie. I just wanted to know that the precinct chairman can also be a state delegate.
Yeah, if you're a precinct officer, you are also eligible to be a state delegate, county delegate. The precinct chair is an automatic county delegate, so you don't want to nominate them as your other county delegate.
But only in the
What?
county.
Yes, only county.
Yeah.
Yep, so for state, so Julie's been nominated as state delegate. Yes?
I think you're right.
Okay, can you write that?
Isn't Nathaniel?
Yeah. I can nominate myself as precinct host. Let's do that. Amber. So if you're precinct host, you are allowed to run for any of the precinct positions. You are allowed to run for any of the delegate positions. It's open. One more? Yes.
I'll nominate myself, Deborah Anderson.
All right, so then let's say that I ask, are there any more nominations? And nothing happens, and then I can say, okay, nominations are closed. You all will be voting on the state delegates.
And 2 alternates.
So what we want to do, when we made the motion, did we say that we want, let's say that we said we wanted 2 alternates, and we want one delegate and 2 alternates, and we want to take them in the order of the top 3, right? This could become complicated depending on how you do it. You could just vote for your top highest one, and then the vote totals go that way. You could vote for 3, but then they all get equal vote. Like if I want Nathaniel to be my state delegate, and I'm okay if Amber's my alternate, because she might not end up going anyway, then I don't want them to necessarily get the same weight. Yes, thank you. So that's another thing you can make a motion on if you want it to be voted that way. Do you guys have any suggestions?
It's simpler to just do a straight vote.
Okay, that's what I would say. If it were in my precinct, I would recommend just vote for 1 delegate. And then we will do all the counting, and the person who got the highest vote total will be our state delegate. The next 2 will be our 2 alternates. So hold up your credential, make sure you're getting that.
So these, when we vote for delegates, they don't speak to us.
Only if you
Yeah, they do. They do.
They can.
So they should. They very much should. So then at that time, while they're passing out ballots, I would invite them to come. So all 4 of you just come up, right? So when I'm verifying they're accepting the nomination, I would say, okay, so I need to see your credential, and I need you to accept the nomination. Are you going to be available on April 25th, I think it was, for the state convention? And then that's a really good point. So we've previously voted on the 1 minute time limit, and we have our timer. Pretend like 10 seconds is a minute, just for fun. Let's see what you can get out in 10 seconds. First, tell us your name, and then you can tell us why you want to be this. There are some precincts that have used kind of a format of tell us like how long you've lived here, or where you work, any things like that. I don't like to give an outline. I want to know why you want to be my delegate, and that's all I want to know. So you're welcome to say whatever you want to say in that time limit. So Julie, we go. So say, I'm Julie.
I'm Julie Andrew, and I am excited to represent you at the primary. Go precinct.
My name is Nathaniel Wright, and I will be there for my meetings.
Your convention, so you're elected to attend. Okay, will you talk for extra time than you're supposed to, and then we'll show how that works.
My name's Devron Anderson. I'm the most handsome of the Andersons, and I appreciate the opportunity to represent you guys as a candidate of our precinct. I am a true blue bleeding taking too long. Thank you very much.
Okay, and then you go ahead and sit down. We'll have you start voting now, and then
I don't know this, but we'd like to ask them questions such as who they're going to vote for.
right. So in that case, you could say, I'd like to make a motion that we can ask questions for this amount of time or whatever. And then at that point, you could ask questions such as, do you have someone that you're supporting right now? And such. So we're collecting those. You're showing your credential as you're putting your vote in the ballot box. We have our vote totals. Julie has 2, Nathaniel 3, Amber 4, and Devron has 9. Okay, so with the way we voted to have this happen, Devron is our elected state delegate. I am our first alternate, and Nathaniel is our second alternate. That is the state delegate.